Welcome to a new episode of Mom's Day Off with
Anna
and Brenda. So, have you heard of the red string theory?
No, what is that?
So, I seen on TikTok, it's when you've met someone before previously and you're like, they're meant to be in your life. You meet them again in the future.
Let me see. Let me Google it real quick. So it says the red string theory is a belief that it's invisible. It's an invisible red thread connects people who are destined to be together, whether it's romantical or close friends. So like how we met,
Kind of.
So you want to tell them how we kind of met?
Well, yeah. So I feel like we met through our a mutual friend. And we were planning to do a trip to go to a concert.
Oh yeah, wait. So let me say how I met Abby.
Okay, so you say how you met Abby.
Okay, so I met Abby through Instagram, like a normal Gen Z person would be, meeting and following people through Instagram and just creeping and commenting on their posts. That was me. And then she posted on Instagram like, oh, got my tickets to see Rebelde. And I was like, oh my God, I want to go see Rebelde. And then I messaged her, I'm like, hey girl, like how much were the tickets? So then she was like, oh, it's like 400 and something. Like,
Around there, yeah.
And floor seats. I was like, oh, like, you know what, Rebelde, I'm buying that. And then when I go because she had to also give me a code. And I think she gave me a code. And I kept looking. I was like, wait. I'm like, they're not 400. They're like $2,000 for these.
Oh, but you were because you thought it was gonna be here in New York.
I was looking in New York, and then when I looked at it, I was just like, no, there's no way. So then I messaged her again. I was like, hey, like, I can't find the 400 something dollar tickets that you're talking about. And then she was like, oh, I'm not going to see them in New York. I'm going to Texas. I'm like, Texas? And then she was like, yeah, like, she's like, you should just pull up. Like, me and my friends are going. And then I was like, oh my God, like, I'm going to meet a stranger for the first time in Texas. I was like, hey, what if she's not real? Like, you know, what if she's fake? Or like, you know, like she's like a man or something, you know, because it's really like weird to like meet someone
and for them to be them.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. Because, you know, catfish and all this.
Yeah.
But then I was like, but there's no way she's a catfish. Like, I see her post, I see her video. So I'm like, okay, like, there's no way.
This looks so real.
Yeah. And AI wasn't a big thing back then. So then I was like, okay. I was like, wait, so when are you going? And she was like, oh, like here, I'm gonna send you the date and time that we're gonna go. And I was like, oh, okay, sounds good. So then she told me the information, and that's when I messaged my two friends at that time, and I was like, hey, like, do you want to come with me? And they're like, where? And I was like, want to see Rebelde? And they're like, yeah, let's go see Rebelde. And then I was like, but it's in Texas though. And they're like, like, who are you going with? I'm like, some girl I just met on Instagram. And they're like, who?
Didn't they think you were crazy for that?
Yeah, they're like, Anna, what if you don't know her? And I'm like, it's okay. She's going with her two other friends. And I'm like, and I'm going, if you guys come with me, then you're my two other friends. And then I'm like, you know, I'll be safe because I know you guys. So then they're like, okay, you know what? Just buy the tickets. So we bought the tickets, and then I told her, I'm like, hey, girl, so I am going to Texas with you and your friends. And she was like, oh, okay, great. Like, and then that's when I was telling her, I'm like, I think we should meet in person before we go
to the trip.
Yeah, because I was like, just making sure, like, you guys are real and stuff like that. Because then we were gonna get the Airbnb together.
Oh yeah, and just to make sure, like, what if the vibe is there? What if the vibe is not there? Yeah. I remember Abby texted because we do have a group chat between her, me, and my other friend, and she was like, "Hey girls, so what do you guys think of inviting some girl named Anna?" And I was like, "Oh, I mean, I don't know her," and I was just like, at first I was a little skeptical. I was like,
yeah,
like the new person, but I was like, hey, it should be fun. It's a girls' trip, you know. I haven't.
It was a girls' trip. Yeah.
Around that time, I feel like my son was just one, so I was just not really out there yet, and I was just like, yeah, why not? It should be fun. It's a girls' trip, you know. What could go wrong? Maybe it could be even more fun. It
was more fun. Yeah, it was like more girls in the house. Yeah. And your sister came.
Yeah, my sister came too. So nice, I mean, it wasn't.
No, it wasn't like crazy like girls trip, but it was just more like calm vibes.
Yeah,
like, you're just gonna go to Texas, see Rebelde, and like, you know, take pictures here and there, eat out and stuff. But then then we met when I was out actually in the city with some friend, And she was like, we're kind of bored after that. I was like, hey, like, what are you doing?
Yes, I remember. And then me, Abby, and Melly we were already out. We were already drinking.
Yeah, and Abby was on live.
Yes.
And then she was on live, and then she was like saying something. And I was like, hey, where are you?
We were already kind of lit.
Yeah, she's like, I'm a meeting. And I was like, I'm gonna pull up. And she's like, yeah, pull up. So then I came with my friend and her friend, and then that's when we met you.
That's the first time we met each other, but I just don't really recall because that night, I forgot what we had, the reason when we went out to celebrate, but point is, we had went to a restaurant and just, drinks after drinks and then shots after shots, and we were just like, when I remember you coming, and I just was just like, hey. It was just like kind of like a little blur, but yes, I don't remember.
But we didn't stay for that long.
We didn't stay for long because the restaurant was closing soon. Yeah,
we came, we ate like a little something.
But those 30 minutes that we were hanging out, it was fun.
It was fun. And then after that, I think we met again in Coney.
Yes, that's when we were like officially like, okay, let's meet up again, but this time like sober wise, right?
Yeah. Well, we met sober and we left like nice.
Yeah, I remember we went to the boardwalk, right?
Yes.
Yeah, to go get a drink or to eat something around there. Yes, that's when we officially like kind of got, but it was just only you, right? I don't think no one else came, right?
At that time, the first time, it was only me. And then the second time it was my other friend, Abby, and me. And then the other time it was all of us together again.
Okay.
Yeah. So it's like we got to meet, like, I feel like I met you guys more because I'm like,
we interacted with you more. Yeah, and then we were like, okay, she seems like fun. So like,
and then when we were talking, that's when we were like, wait, like it's such a small world because I'm like we don't know each other. But like we have been at the same place at the same time.
We have mutual friends. Yes. Little did we know that we were at the same spot, but just we crossed paths each other. We just never really
were just like and then we're just like whatever. But that's crazy. Yeah, like the one time where we were together, it was not together, but same place. That's at the bonfire at the beach.
Yes, at a bonfire. Plum Beach. Yes. Through a mutual friend.
Yes.
I remember we just went. We were like, okay, let's just go because we had nothing else to do, and we were just there chilling. And then we were taking pictures, videos. Pull out the Snapchat stories, seeing, and we were like, oh my god, we were at the same spot. It just. We didn't really, I guess. I mean, there was a lot of people.
I think that was because I think I only been to like 3-4 bonfires, but I think that bonfire was really big. A lot of people came.
I only went to one. And that one time,
that was a big one.
Yeah, that was a big one.
People were jumping through the fire.
Yeah.
They were like the guys were like, I'm like, what is going on?
I remember when we took pictures, and there was just like random people just pulling up and just taking pictures with us, and we were just like, hey.
No way.
Yeah.
You didn't have to tell you. Also, that time we went to the bonfire, I messed up my foot. And I went with
crutches.
Yeah,
really?
I went with crutches. Because my foot was messed up. Because where I used to work, I fell from like those really really high ladders that you have like in the
to restock.
Yeah, they're like the really tall. It's like bigger than 7 feet. It's like really tall, and I fell, and then I messed up my foot, and then I got workers' comp. But I messed up my foot, and I had the crutches, and I went to Plum Beach with crutches. And I remember like the
were they passing it around?
Yes,
I remember that. Then I do remember that.
And then I was like, "Where's my crutches?"
Oh my god!
And then I was hanging out to my friend like this because I'm like, "Bro, I couldn't lean on anybody else because I'm like, me caigo." You like now
you weren't really in pain if you went.
I mean, I never missed a party. That's for sure. No, but my friend was like, "Yes, come," and I was like, "Okay, I'm coming." And then I remember when we got there, and then like when you have crutches, like it sinks in the sand.
In the sand, and it's hard to walk in the sand.
Yes. So I remember when I got there, I was just like with my crutches, like going and going, and then like my crutches would be sinking. But then I remember like at some point, like my friend's friend, he took my crutches and he was just dancing with it, and he was like, "Wow."
I don't remember you though. That's the thing. I don't remember seeing you. Because I probably was
in the corner trying to lean on somebody, like okay, yeah.
I do remember someone passing around some crutches. Now that you mention it, but I just don't remember seeing you.
I remember that.
First is the wig. Now it's the crutches. What's next?
But I know everybody's taking shit from me. So that, and then the other time we met, again, same place. We didn't really
But this was before, right?
Yes.
Or after?
Yes.
No. I think this was afterward. After.
So what was first?
I think first was the
Halloween?
No, I think first was the bonfire.
Oh, yes.
And then afterwards, I think it was the Halloween party.
Yeah, because Halloween's October.
Yeah, because that was years later. Because I remember around that time, I was with my husband, not my husband, but with Anthony now around that time. But I still had went out.
Oh, damn.
I remember, and I wasn't going to go to the Halloween party because it was originally just me, Abby, and another friend. We had went to a restaurant. We had went to eat wings, and we were just drinking. And then we had gotten invited, but we were like, nah. We're like, we don't really feel like going. You know, like I was like,
were you guys dressed up?
No, we weren't dressed up, but we were like, the leather jacket, kind of like,
That was a vibe back
then. Yeah. So I remember we were just like, let's just go out to eat and have some drinks. Let's just, between us, the girls. Because we were like, we don't feel like partying. We don't feel like, whatever. So after shots, and then the guy, the waitress was like, oh, here, this is on us. So they gave us more. So then that's what kind of like hit us. And then when we came out, we were like, okay, let's go to
it's party time.
Let's go to Pablito's Halloween party, So we were like, okay, let's just go. And that was just very last minute. I think it was like around 12 o'clock when we were like, okay, let's just go.
Damn, I was there that late.
But that's the thing, I don't remember you because I already, when we went, we was already kind of a little buzz, we were a little lit. So when we got there, I remember seeing some friends that I haven't seen in a while. So I just went to go sit down with them and was just talking, and we were like just drinking. And then from there, I'm not gonna lie, I did get really drunk that I do not really remember going back home. So most likely we did probably but I do remember some parts. I do remember I was sitting, let's say, across over there with my group of like people that I knew. And then from there, I remember like some parts. I remember I came here, which I think you were around here where the
I wasn't
the bathrooms were at, right?
Yeah.
You were around where the bathrooms were. I remember at some point I ended up here, but I just don't remember the whole thing. I remember just like some like parts and then like parts and then like you wake up.
Like it comes in and out.
Yeah. But I do remember it being like at the other side. And then at some point I ended up coming here. But I just don't remember. Yeah. But I'm pretty sure with the videos that you showed me from that day of the party.
And I was trying to look for you in the background.
Yes. I was like, where are you? And I was hiding. I was making sure no one sees me.
Because where the videos I showed you, it was like we were dancing. And we were the only ones dancing. Because like, when you get lit, like I think we started making a circle.
You dance to anything. You know how to dance. Yes. Salsa, merengue, everything. You dance to the freaking beat.
Your weight. Yeah. So I remember like we were in the circle and then we were like telling people to, come in, after the drinks hit you. And then we got like a really big circle. And then that's when people started dancing and we were saying it's about money and all that. Yeah.
And it's so funny because the only reason why I went to those parties with like those people is because of my cousin. My cousin is the one that would invite me to like, okay, those come on, like, what are you doing tonight? I'm like, oh, nothing. Okay, come. I have a party. Come with me or whatever. And then I would come with my friends. I would just be like, oh, come on, like, my cousin is inviting us. And we're like, okay, let's just go. That's the only reason why I would go to those parties. And eventually, like, we ended up being cool with them. And then, like, he would invite us, like, hey, I'm doing this, I'm doing that. And, like, sometimes we'll go, sometimes we won't. But it's funny how...
So you got invited because of your cousin?
Because of my cousin.
I got invited because of my roommate.
And your roommate?
Yeah.
Wait, your roommate knew that person?
Those people.
Oh.
Yeah. Or my roommate's partner at that time. I don't know, but we just got invited. Yeah. But it's funny because the person that hosted, I went to high school with him anyways.
Oh, you did?
Mm-hmm. But because all those people, like half of those people I knew because of high school.
You guys all went to the same school.
Yeah.
But you guys never really spoke in school? Until afterwards.
Yeah, because he was like, what, your
He was
age?
older. No, he was old. I think he was older.
Yeah,
I think.
So imagine.
I think maybe like
you
a year or two.
You graduated before me, no?
The year 16.
Yeah, you graduated before me. Yeah. I don't remember. It's been so long. But I'm like, all I know is that I would see him, but I know he was older than me. Like, older than me.
Yeah, no, he was, I think he was like either, but not by too much. Maybe like 2 the most.
2 years, right?
Around there. No, I didn't go to school with him. I did not even know about him at all.
But he was cool. Like he, you know,
it was fun. It was a fun times. It's just so crazy how we talk about it and we see videos. I'm like, oh my God, I remember this party.
Yeah.
It kind of reminds me also how I met my husband too.
Oh yeah, how
so
did you meet
the thing
Anthony?
is, it's so crazy because me and him, we worked together. But we were friends at first, you know, whatever. After a while, we're getting to know each other more, you know. We would go out, hang out, you know, like coworkers. Let's hang out.
So coworkers.
Yeah. So then eventually we ended up dating. And then he was like, "Oh, I'm gonna go to my cousin's house afterwards. Like, do you, come with me."
He said, "Come meet the family.
Come meet the fam." And I was just like, "Okay, I'll go. I have nothing else to do, you know." So we went. We got to their house, and then we were just there chilling, just drinking, playing games, and all of a sudden, like, I think, his aunts had a party in the park, and afterwards they pulled up to the house, which was
that's where you guys were at.
That's where we were at. And all of a sudden, like, they just started coming, and then I just see some guy just sitting there with his girlfriend, which is my husband's cousin.
Okay.
And I'm like, I go on to my husband. I'm like, yo, that kid looks so familiar. I'm like, what's his name? And then he was like, I don't know. He was like, we just call him by a nickname that they call him. And I was like, I was like, well, it kind of looks like one of my cousins. My cousin Pablito. And he was like, oh, I think that's his name. And I was like, you're lying. And then he goes to him and he was like, yo, you know, Pablito, come over here. And he was like, he pulls up, he's like, yeah. And then I was like, are you Pablito? And he was like, yeah. And I was like, oh my God, is your dad, you know, whatever? And he was like, yeah. And I was like, do you not remember me? Because clearly you look the same as, because I haven't seen him since like maybe when we were like 10 years old.
Oh wow.
Because so he was part of he's my dad's side of the family, which my dad's side of the family is not so big, but we don't really we're not as close. Like I'm only close with like maybe one uncle. And back then, like Christmas, New Year's, we were very close. You know, like back then when like all the family was close and stuff like that. So I would always spend time in Jersey. And his dad is actually my dad's first cousin.
Okay.
So
it's family.
Yeah, it's family. Yeah. So he would pull up here and there. But sometimes when he would pull up, his dad would pull up, he would bring him. But because his parents are not together, so whenever I guess it was his whatever the thing was, he would come. But then afterwards, he just stopped coming to that to the gatherings, and eventually I don't know whatever really happened. We just stopped seeing him, and then we eventually stopped going to Jersey to spend time with the family. We just ended up just staying home, whatever. So I haven't seen him since maybe he was like 10 years old. And when I saw him, he looked obviously the same, but just older. You know, beard, whatever. But he still had the same features where I was just like, oh my God, you don't remember me? And he was like, wait, I kind of feel like, he was like, no. And then I was like, oh, this and that. And he was like, no, wait. And I was like, yeah. And it's so crazy because then afterwards I told my dad, I was like, yo, oh my God, guess who I just seen that is dating Anthony's cousin. And then that's when I told them, and they were all so surprised and shocked. And we were like, no way, what a small world. But, you know, eventually they're not together anymore. They just went their separate ways again. But I was just like, damn, that's so crazy how you were with my cousin this whole time. And then I haven't seen him in years.
And then when you see him. And
it was just like, oh my God.
Because Anthony invited you.
Yes, Anthony invited me to like, oh, come over to like, you know, my family side. And I was like, okay, I'll just go. And it's like reunited again.
Yeah.
Oh,
wow. That's cute though. How you guys, well, it wasn't for Anthony, you would have never seen your cousin again.
Yeah. But that's the thing, like that's my family. I don't know why we're like that. We're just very like
distant.
We're just this. I guess, you know, as you grow older, you just start drifting apart or going your own way, which makes sense. You know, you're getting older. You know, you got to do what you got to do.
Yeah.
But when you see each other, it's just like, hey, like, you know, like nothing ever happened again. Yeah. You know, nothing ever happened. But yeah.
Oh well. Oh, that's cute because I met my husband now, Ivan. in class, but before, well, we met in high school.
So, you guys went to the same high school.
Let me take it back. Let me take it back to 2015. So like we met in high school. Yeah, I was a sophomore. He was a junior. I was dating someone at that time, and you know, but the guy I was dating, like I would never see him because he rather then come see me because he will go to another school. So he'll be like, oh no, it's the, we have a smoke sesh, I would like to go. And I'm like, whatever, ¿qué le voy a decir? So I'm like, all right, whatever, do you. So I would never really see him. And then how there's a first semester, second semester? Mm-hmm. So second semester is when I met Ivan, because then we had global class together. And before I even met him, the first semester, I met all his friends. Like you name it, I met all of them. Besides Ivan. So then like I would see his friends like, hey, like we used to have lunch together. We used to like hang out. He would never be there. But I would always hang out with his friends until second semester hit. And then I was still friends with them, right? And then we got lunch again together with his friends. But then this second semester, I actually had class with him. It was global, like I said. And then I remember like I came in late. I was just fucking around in the hallway, trying to get the gossip from what happened last period, And then I came in, the bell rang, and I came in late. And then I remember the teacher was like, "Who are you?" And I said my name. I was like, when you were young, you give attitude, be like, "So can I come in or what?" And she was like, "Yeah, just have a seat." And I was like, oh, "Okay, whatever." So I went to sit down, and then she broke us into like groups. And then she was okay, this is gonna be the first group, second group, blah, blah, blah. And then she put me in a group with Ivan and some other kid. And then I was texting my boyfriend like, oh, like, are you still gonna pick me up after school or what? And he'd be like, no, I can't. And I'm like, whatever. And I was mad. I was just like, I'm like, damn, I'm so tight. Like, he's like, gonna come pick me up. And then I'm looking at these two kids and I'm like, now I'm with two other boys. I'm like, oh, just great. Like, I don't want to be here. I'm like, one, I was late. Two, the teacher put me on the spot. I'm like, three, I'm sitting with these two kids. I don't want to be here. Like, I'm so annoyed. And then I remember we had an assignment, and then Ivan was like, oh, like, so this is what I'm going to do, and this is what you guys are going to do. Like, and then I was like, who are you to tell us what to do? Like, I'm like, okay, nerd. Like, why? And then he was so like, from the beginning, you're like, yeah, like, what are you talking? First of all, I'm like, yeah. He's like, oh, but I'm a junior. I'm like, okay, and I'm a sophomore. You're not supposed to tell me what to do. I'm like, what? And he was like, well, I think I'm gonna do this part because he's like, obviously I paid more attention. And I was like, okay, nerd, whatever, like, do you? And then, okay, yeah. So then, and then at the end, like, we ended up presenting and stuff. But then, like, I went to like the other side of the classroom because me cayó mal. I was like, oh, like, I don't want to, like, he's gonna be tight.
So the first impression was just like not it.
No. Okay. So then I moved to the other side of the classroom, and then I met some other kid, and then I remember the other kid was always talking shit about him. And ended up being one of his old friends, but he like a hater. So he's, oh, look what he's wearing. I'm like, oh my God, why is he wearing that? And he's like, yeah, right. Why is he wearing that? And then little did I know, is like later we got into another group, and then the teacher put me with him again. And I'm like, oh, with him again. I was like, no. And then, but with the other guy too. And then he was like, well, we meet again. But this was the other guy. It wasn't Ivan. And then I was like, yeah, we meet again. And then he was like, oh, so Ivan was like, oh, I'm going to tell you guys like how we're going to separate it. And I'm like, otra vez? I'm like, yo, like, okay, like, let us like be. And he was like, no, because I'm trying to get a good grade. And I was like, okay, me too, but I'm not going to take over the project, right? So little by little, like, I like, he was just making jokes, and I was just like, okay, I'm like, okay, fine, he's not that annoying.
Like, okay, you're funny.
I was like, okay, fine, you're funny or whatever. And
you'll catch yourself laughing at his jokes.
I was like, So then, like, eventually, that boyfriend that I had, like, it was nothing serious. It was like a month. Like, we broke up, and then I was telling Ivan, like, oh, like, I want to try for the bowling team. And he was like, oh, but where is it? And then back then, like, I used to live with my dad. So, like, I would never really go anywhere. So every time I told my dad I needed to go somewhere, he would just drive me. So I never took public transportation. I never took the bus. I never took the train. I didn't even know where I am. That's when you tell me, like, I'm here. I'm like, where is that? I'm like, is that left or right? Because I'm like, I don't know my streets. Okay. Yeah. So then I told him, oh, I have to go to Melody Lane. No, I'm not lying. Some lane in, like, by the Avenue X or something, and McDonald Avenue. I forgot what it's called. I have no idea. But we had to go there. And then he was like, I'll take you. And I was like, really? He was like, yeah, I'll take you. And I was like, okay, I mean, you want to take me. I'm like, all right. So then I'm not going to tell my dad then. Because usually I tell my dad, like, oh, this is where I'm going to be. But then I told my dad, I was like, no, I'm going to go with my other friends. And then she's going to take me over there. So then, like, I remember, like, I tried out and then I made the team. And I was like, so excited. I'm like, yeah, oh my God, I made it. And then, like, he was in the arcade and I went upstairs. I was like, I made the team. And he was like, oh my God, mine is bowling. I was like, nothing crazy. And then like he was like, oh my God, congratulations. And then me, yo siendo fresca, I kissed him. And then Ivan was like, and then I was like, sorry. And then he was like, and then he grabbed me and we started just kissing, making out in the arcade. And then I was just like, I was like, okay, I gotta go home. And then I was trying to leave. I was like, I don't know how to get there. I'm like, where's home? And then back then there was no Ubers or anything back then. So and then I remember the next day I told my friend, I was like, oh yeah, I'm talking to this guy, blah, blah. And then I told him his name. And he was like, wait, is his name blah, blah, blah? And I was like, yeah. I'm like, how do you know him? He was like, bro, I know him since like middle school. And I was like, huh?
It's my best friend.
Yeah. And then I was like, and then I told some other friend because then they all know each other since middle school, like they all went elementary school. Okay. Yeah. And they're like, wait, you're seeing who? And I was like, yeah, him. And he was like, oh, wait, I know him. They're like, yeah, he's the other one. He's like, oh, he lives like 2 blocks away from me. Oh, we hang out after school all the time. We go to school together. And I was like, how does everyone know you? Everybody know him. And I just found out about him. And then he was like, you think, because I would tell him, oh, I'm talking to someone. I'm like, nothing serious. Like, I'm just trying to like, focus in school or whatever. And they're like, yeah, whatever. And then until I mentioned, they're like, oh yeah, I'm like, I kissed him. And they're like, who? And I was like, okay, fine, I'll say his name. But I'm like,
don't tell no one.
Don't tell no one. And then when I told her, she's like, Ivan, blah, blah, blah. And I was like, yeah. And he's like, he looks like this, blah, blah, blah. And I was like, yeah. And then I think she looked him up on Facebook. She was like him? And I was like, yeah, why have a picture of him? And then he was like, yeah, like, I'm like, I know him from blah, blah, blah. And I was like, damn. So I'm like, hi. And then, I went to tell him, I'm like, yo, what's crazy? I was like, how did I meet all your friends, legit all your friends? And I just met you.
Yeah.
And then he was like, no, that's crazy. So then that's when we started hanging out more, obviously. And then I'm like, I didn't have to be like, like when you meet your partner and then you're trying to fit in with his friends so they can like you. I'm like, they already like me.
I already know them.
Yeah. We don't have to hang out. I'm like, yeah. So then like we were hanging out and then we were always telling them like, wow, that's crazy. Like you guys didn't put us on. Like, I'm like, this whole time we've been single. I'm like, I'm here trying to look for someone. He's looking for someone. And you guys are like, no, I don't know anyone. I'm like, you okay?
Estoy pintada.
Yeah. But I was like, yeah, like it's crazy. Like we met at that certain time because like they even said like they would hang out in the hallways and every time like I will pass by like Ivan just left and it's like when I would go in Ivan would leave. Oh, then when Ivan would come, I would just, oh, goodbye, guys. And I would just leave too. I would leave, like, let's say, like, 4th period. And he would leave at the same time with my friends, our friends at that time. And then he's like, oh, but I'm going to go home. And I'm like, oh, but I'm going to go hang out with them. So it's like we were supposed to meet, like, a while back. But it wasn't time yet.
It wasn't time. It wasn't meant to be then until...
Yeah.
That time.
Until that time.
I do believe in that too.
That's so creepy.
That is. It's crazy. So you could have just passed by him like legit, like how we
then I even told him, I'm like, what's crazy is that one, I don't know if he's that, but I remember like I was passing on the hallways. I didn't know him, but I saw him. He was arguing with someone. And then like I was single at that time and he was like arguing with this person in the hallway. And I looked at them. I was like, oh, could never be me because I don't want to be single. Them. I was like, I'm fucking single. And then I thinking about it, I was like, bro, wait, that was you. And then he was like, when did you see me? With who? And I told them. He's like, no way.
It was at this date, this time, this period.
At this half of the hallway because Madison was big. Like in the school that I went to, it was huge. So it was like 6th floor. 6 floors.
Damn.
Yeah, and it was huge. Like the people that I graduated with, if you see my yearbook and you tell me quién es este, I'm like, no sé, because I've never seen them in my life. It's so big. Like you haven't met half of those people. In graduation, when you go and walk through the stage and they were seeing these kids, I'm like, yo, who the hell are these kids?
No, yes.
I've never seen them. They probably think the same thing about me. Like, what the fuck is this bitch? And I'm just like, Like, I diploma. Like, yeah. Like, I graduated. And they probably, who the fuck is this? And yeah, but I was like, bro, that's just so crazy. I'm like, well, I seen him argue with someone. I'm like, and I remember telling to myself, I'm like, damn, thank God I'm single, because that could never be me. And then like a year or a few months later, I'm like, oh, now look at us. Now we're the people in the hallway. Huh?
Damn, you guys are married now, have a kid together.
Yes, like that's crazy. Like it took all that, we went through a lot to get where we are, and it's just like, we met really young. Like but who would have known 16, 17-year-old me would be like, oh, this is the person I'm gonna marry and have kids a kid with.
Yeah.
Oh, kid. Whoa, kid.
whoa. Maybe in the future.
Whoa.
No, kid that is crazy. Yeah. Because also not only did that happen with that I met my long lost cousin, but when we were more getting into like getting to know each other, he would tell me how, because I live in Brooklyn. I've always lived in Brooklyn, and he used to live in Harlem.
Yeah.
So when his parents got separated, his mom moved to Brooklyn, and he went eventually with his mom, and they used to live, kid you not, 20 minutes away from where I used to live.
No way.
Yeah, and he told me, he's like, oh, I used to live in Bay Parkway. And I was like, that's not that far from my house. I was like, and then he'll tell me like, oh, I used to go to this store. And I was like, me too. And I was like, well, maybe we would like cross paths, or we would probably went to the same train. And I call it, I also have family in Washington Heights. So my mom, we would always go like in the weekends up there to visit my cousins. And there was this one specific store that my mom would always go to that Anthony would also go to with his mom. I think it's like they call it El Mundo or something like that. I'm not sure. But there was this one time my mom and him were talking, and because my mom was telling him a story about me, about like there was this one time in that store I got lost with one of my cousins. And
how big is this store?
No, she said it's a big store. Well, I don't know, little me, anything would have been huge.
Yeah.
So she was telling him that story, that where I got lost with my cousin and had to close the store down because they were like, oh, those niñas están perdidas, like guys, like help us look, whatever. And then you see me and my cousin coming out, like those racks. Coming, we were inside in the middle, and then all you see is, she said that you saw us coming out and just like laughing, like thinking it was funny. But yeah, she was telling him that story, and she was like, oh yeah, we went to the store, and him and my mom and Anthony were there talking, and he was like, oh yeah, he's like, I used to always go to that store with my mom too.
That's crazy.
So yeah, we were like, damn, we could have met each other in that store too. We could have met in the freaking train or anywhere around, so it's like, wow, that.
But now, you know what I also think is crazy is like we are meant to meet people, and then I feel like at some point we're also meant to like not talk to those people,
depart ourselves from certain people, right? I do believe that too. I do believe like, and it's not, I feel like
sad sometimes, like if you think, well, some things I feel like, okay, like our lives are very different, you're gonna do your thing.
Grow up, basically. You start doing your own thing. You start doing your own thing. But then it's
like, damn, like you guys went from not knowing each other to then being really close friends, like, oh my god, you're my best friend, or you're like, I'm gonna tell you everything, to now you guys are strangers again.
That is pretty
so
sad.
Weird. Now I'm thinking about it. And I had like a few like of people like I've met, and I'm like, oh my god, like we're gonna be close forever. And then like now I'm like, damn, like we say like maybe like happy birthday here and there,
but here and there, like, oh, like you still think about that person, like you'll still always have that love for whatever close friends you've had. But I feel like you kind of also you start growing.
You grow up.
In a way, you grow up, and then like you start doing your own thing. You start doing like focusing on what you want to do.
Yeah.
And then not that it's bad, but it's just like it is kind of, it's just like, yeah, like here and there, the happy birthday, like hope everything is well.
Yeah.
Or
and you haven't seen half of those people in a while. Yeah.
Yeah.
Like I be seeing them, like not in real life anyways, but I see them on Instagram or Facebook or
social media,
TikTok, or something. And then I'm just like, damn, like I remember we used to hang out all the time, like all the time.
Talk all the time, be everywhere all the time.
Yes, like I remember like I hang out with a few people back then, and I'm just like, well, I am thankful for them because I'm like, if it wasn't for them, I'm like, I wouldn't have gone out. Like I feel like I would just have stayed, work, and back then school for a little, but then I kind of quit that. But like, work and then go home and just sleep. But no, they're like, no, come out, let's go out, let's do this, and I'm like, oh my god, yeah.
Because if you think about it, we just basically live just to work, pay bills.
And unless we succeed here because of you guys, then I would really appreciate it. High school was fun.
High school for me wasn't as that fun. It wasn't really fun. No, I didn't really have fun like that. No,
I feel like if I would go back to high school, I would do better. Like I would actually like get good grades. Like okay, like not hang out with the wrong crowds. Stay in school. Like, because I'm like, I always wanted to experience that, like, when you graduate high school and then you go to college, but you go like far away, like upstate or something.
Oh, like a dorm?
Yes. Like, you wouldn't want to have dorm?
I feel like I would have.
Yeah.
Yeah, like probably go to college in dorm and probably like want to live that experience. Maybe like.
Mm-hmm. No, that's why when I have now that I have my daughter, I'm like, bro, I would tell her like, I'll be sad that you leave, but leave. Like, get out of here. Like,
basically live life.
Yes. But I'm like, I don't want to find out what you're doing now. I'm like, yeah, I'm going to cry. I'm like, you did what? But I was like, but just like get out of the fucking city. Like, meet other people. Like, it's going to be sad for a little bit.
I feel like I would want to, even though I am from Brooklyn, I would want to still like probably like live the city life, even though it's not that big difference. You know what I mean? But I would probably I wouldn't want to go to a different state. I feel like it's more like boring. I feel, you know what I mean? Like I feel like everybody that's from a different state want to come to New York just experience that experience of like
I'm tired of the city though.
Yeah, true, but like if you're young and then just like
no, if you're young, you need to live in the city because brothers, what else are you gonna do in a small ass town?
It's like the city that never sleeps.
Yes, and we don't sleep. Like 4 a.m. we're outside. Like back then.
And I feel like in different states, like everything closes like at 12, 1 o'clock.
Not even like
nothing is opened. Everything is just so dead. I feel.
Yeah. No.
But that's the only thing I would want to like experience, even though it's like not a big difference,
Oh, I have a question for you. Like, do you think you're a gaslighter?
A gaslighter?
Yeah.
No.
You're like, you want to hear something that I did?
About
gaslighting. I'm like, I just think that I am I'm the definition of a gaslighter, but I did gaslight
someone. What would you define a gaslighter?
I guess the definition of that would be like a person that they know they're wrong, but they still go through with it. Like let's say I'd be like, it's raining outside. And I'm like, no, it's not. It's not raining. And you're like, but it is raining. I'm like, no, it's not raining. Just go out without a raincoat. It's not raining. And even though I know it's raining, I'm still going to convince you that it's not raining. Like, so look, I'm going to tell you what I did, right? Okay. So I was signing up for the gym. And then I've been to Harbor Fitness before. I've been to this gym before. And then they were like, last time I went by myself and they're like, oh, it's going to cost you $75 for you to sign back in. Because I used to pay $60, right?
$75 a month?
Yes.
That's insane.
Yeah. So I was like, 60 is like the best deal, like Planet Fitness or something. But they were like, oh, we're going to have you charge you 75 because you ended up leaving us. And I was like, well, I ended up leaving you because I got pregnant. And I'm like, I didn't feel like working out. And they're like, no. So I was like, no, forget it. I'm like, I'm just going to leave. And then like months passed by and then some girls from work were like, oh, like we should just go to the gym again. And then I was like, in my head, I was like, oh, I gotta deal with those people. And I was telling them, I'm like, bro, I'm gonna take an L because I'm like $75 a month. And it's like, not that it's the nicest gym. Or if I pay $75, I want to have a pool or something. There's no pool, no sauna, no nothing. So then I was like, oh, wait, let me be sneaky because back then I used to have my old last name. Now I have my new last name.
You changed your last name.
So then I went there.
Okay.
And then we were planning to work out. But I don't know why my stupid ass, like I was like, oh, let me bring my Peruvian ID because I'm like, let me be sneaky. But doesn't matter because my old Peruvian ID still had my other last name. So I took an L because I should have shown them with my new one, my new last name. But I showed it to him and he was like, he's like, he's like, I see that you're in our system. I was like, no. That's not me. And he was like, yeah, like, didn't you come to the gym in 2022? And then I was like, no. I'm like, in 2022. In 2022, I used to go to some other gym. He's like, but it says here that he's like
no, somebody stole my identity. Yeah, that's not me.
I was like, no, that's not me. And he's like, but it says here that you used to live. I was like, no, that's not me. I'm telling you, that's not me. And then this guy was like, he's like, okay, let me see. He's like, and then someone didn't tell me that they have pictures of you. So he was like, this looks like you though. And then I'm like, that's not me. I was like, bro, if I'm gonna commit, I'm gonna go all in. Because what do you mean that
you should have brought their other ID with your different ID? Like,
I'm so bad, but I still was like, no, that's not me. And then
how did you look in the other picture though? Did you have like a different like color hair?
No, he didn't show it to me, but but then I found my new New York State ID with my new last name. So I was like, look, this is my ID actually. I was like, give me back my Peruvian ID. I'm like, this is my ID. And he looks at it and I'm like, you see the addresses, look, because I moved.
Wait, so what address did the other one have?
My old address.
And it didn't, but did you make sure that old address wasn't in the system?
Yeah, no, it wasn't. So then, because I moved, so this new address, new ID, new everything, new last name, and I'm like, this is me,
new identity.
Yeah, and he's looking at it, and he's like, but you kind of look like the girl in the picture. I'm like, but that's not me. I'm telling you, that's not me. I'm like, we're gonna have a problem or what? Like, I'm like, am I gonna have to sign up?
Like, sir, let me get your manager, please. Let me speak to the manager.
I was like, oh, I'm sorry. Is this coming out of your fucking paycheck? Like, I just want to go to the fucking gym and fucking work out, but I don't want to pay $75 when other people are paying $60. Like, and then he was, but I didn't want to tell him that. I was like, okay, so I'm like, are we? But I remember I was looking at him. I was like, are we good? And he was like, yeah. Okay, let me get the form started. And then he got the form started. He's like, sorry, I have to talk to my manager. And I was like, fucking snitch. I'm like, you fucking snitch. I'm like, you can't just fucking let me in. I'm like, and then like, mind you, I was like, bro, and then my friends are looking at me like, Anna, like, you stop. Like, you have to have a picture of you. And I was like, I don't give a fuck. If I said that's not me, that's not me. Mind you, it is me, but I don't care. Like, I'm not.
You pulled me when I told you about that teacher, my advisor. No, I did go.
Yes. I was like, that's
you
not
then look
me.
at that man's eyes like, yes. That's not me.
That's not me. And then he came back because he was, my manager's busy. And I was like, okay. And I was going to tell him, like, I'm like, yo, like, is that a problem? Like, are you bullying me or something?
Like, you're wasting my time. Yeah, like, I could have been working. I could have done 5 squats right now.
For an hour already. Like, and then he signed everything. And I remember like his manager ended up coming by. And then he told him something. The manager's like, like, he didn't care. So I'm like, get the manager to care. Why do you care? So then like, and then I went in and he gave me the little key card and he was like, here. And I was like, thank you. I was like, damn, wasting my time. I'm like, and then he's like, well, we also have a few classes, blah, blah. And then he was trying to make jokes. And in my head, I was like, bro, mind you, I know I'm the one that's lying here, but I'm like, no, now I'm mad because I know I'm mad at the fact that you think I'm lying, which I am lying, but who tells you like to be, I was just so pissed off. And then he was just like, oh, okay, ma'am. So here's a bag. And inside the bag, there was like a bag. Thing. And then I was like, I don't even want this. And then my friend was like, I want it. I'm like, think you can have it because I don't want this bag. I'm like, no.
Bad customer service. Yeah. Actually, I'm going to go
review a bad review. Yeah. Like, I think I was like profiled or something because what do you mean that's me? I'm like, because all Hispanics look alike. So then, yeah, I feel like now bringing that topic of gaslighting, I don't know. I was like, damn, because I was talking to some other friends at work.
Wow. I don't think I could have. I mean, even though I kind of did.
You did that in high school.
I did that in high school, which I was wild back then for doing that. Like, but I don't know. I don't think I could do that again. Like,
you can't commit?
No, I feel like I'm not a good liar. Like you could look at my eyes and I'll just be like, oh, like, okay, fine. It's me.
I did it. At work, I'd be doing that too.
No, I can't do that. I don't know.
You hearing me with these ladies. I'd be like, no, but if you don't do that, that's going to happen to you. And they're like, oh, yeah, you're right. And in my head, I was like,
They have your address, te van a buscar.
Yeah. I'm like, you can't lie. Look, they know where you are. They know where you live. And they're like, oh, sí, tienes razón. I'm like, sí, señora. I'm like, you can't be doing that.
I can't.
And then all I hear you guys in the background fucking laughing, like, hee. And I'm like, catch up. I'm trying to be serious right now.
Professional.
Yeah. And I'm like, bro, you gotta be committed. You gotta be like, once you're in,
I probably did that once, and that was the one time and only. I mean,
high school.
But if you think about it too, like, I would lie to my parents sometimes too, you know?
Yeah, that's why I'm so good
but
at it.
I can't do that now.
I would lie to my dad, be like, where were you? I was in school.
¿Segura que fuiste a la escuela?
Yeah. Yeah, okay, wait at school. Okay, pa. You estaba en la escuela.
Start praying.
Please don't go to school. Please don't go to school. If I'd be like, no, I was in school. I mean, I would look up, I was in school. I went to those classes. I was there.
Él está mintiendo.
Yeah. I would be like, oh, where you come? I just came from practice. I said, what was your phone out? Because the coach told us to turn it off. So it had to be off. Maya was in Ivan's house this whole time for 3 hours. I was like getting it in. And then I come back like, I'm like, no, you stop. I was working out. Which technically wasn't lying. I was working out.
He didn't say what kind of workout.
Yeah. But I was working out. And I'm like, but that's funny. But now, like, I feel like we and you know what I hope? I hope that our friendship lasts and then we're not like those other people.
Yeah, I do. I do. Yeah.
Because imagine that we talked about the registering
and 10 years later, like, we're part of that.
And I'm like, no, because we're part of that. Because no more podcasts.
That's true.
I might be like, hi, welcome to the Anna podcast with just Anna, because there's no one here anymore.
She left.
Yeah, she's gone. Remember that episode, the third one that we released? Yeah, it happened. We jinxed it.
Knock on wood.
Yeah, knock on wood. Let's knock on wood. But it was, I think it was a good episode. It was a cute episode to talk about.
Yeah.
But I feel the next one we should have people ask us questions or something.
Yeah, definitely. So we could have their point of view or story or whatever, and then we just go from there.
Yeah, that'll be fun. So, but what do you think? You think the red string theory is true when it comes to us?
Is it?